Hey, it's time for TV Skywriter. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to TV Skywriter. This is a special edition because DonJohn. Okay, I'm excited. The last time DonJohn was here on TV Skywriter, he was going to audition for the DSI Comedy Theater, and he made it. So let me first introduce myself. You're wondering, who's this crazy lady? I'm Patricia A. Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter, and I do TV Skywriter. I love to introduce you to people I think you should know. So with that, let me introduce my guest, DonJohn. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me again.
Your life has totally changed. The last time you were here, you weren't really worried, but you were kind of excited. Let's put it that way. You're very low key, but I can tell you're excited about your upcoming audition for the DSI Theater. So I already spilled the beans. Why don't you tell us, how did it go?
Well, I slipped in there last minute. Like, I knew on the site they said that the auditions were early March. So I knew that was coming up. So I sent my instructor from class, Andrew, I sent him an email asking when are the auditions. This was like the last couple of days of February.
Okay.
And he said, "You're in luck. We're putting together the team right this minute. Wow. And you have until midnight tonight to submit a video clip." So I sent footage from my showcase. And the next afternoon, I got an email saying I made it.
Wow, that's amazing. And for people who are wondering about the classes, you were taking comedy classes at the same comedy theater, right?
Right. And a few months prior, back in October.
Congratulations, DonJohn. That's exciting.
Thank you. I'm so ready.
That's huge. I remember watching my sister when she was auditioning for Second City in Chicago, and she made it too. So those are exciting things when you go for something and you actually achieve it. That's awesome.
And the thing was, that video clip, that's the one I have on YouTube. That wasn't planned to have that recorded. Well, what happened was, like, that's why the quality is poor, because my mom's friend came and decided to record it on her tablet, and she's not tech savvy. So she kind of started a little bit late.
But she did get you on the screen, right?
Yeah, so that's why you didn't get the whole beginning jokes.
Okay. See, I had an aunt who used to cut everybody's heads off, and she would amaze me because let's say this is a picture. Let's just say this is a picture, and there's a whole bunch of people in the picture. She will somehow get them all on the edge. This will be like blank space, like the sofa or the sky or the building. And like she'll have 16 people on this side of the picture. I mean, just the worst photographer I've ever seen. So I figure as long as you're somehow in the picture, you're good.
Like, that's why it's a little blurry, because she didn't know. But I didn't plan on her recording because it was my understanding the theater was going to record, but they had a glitch in their recording system. So on their end, it was audio only.
Wow. So you have to really give her a huge thank you.
I did.
Because that, like, I can get the gig.
If she comes, I'm putting her name to get in free.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Now, you're a member now of DSI Comedy Theater. Does that mean, because I don't know much about the world of comedy, even though my sister did comedy, I never knew about the behind the stage type stuff. So does someone write all of the words, the script, and then you learn it like in a play? Or are you supposed to come up with your own funny lines? Or do you work as a team?
We're in a team. We're called the stand-up corps. We're all stand-up comedians. We have our own material that we write, but we come together and rehearse and like finalize our sets before the shows.
Okay.
And we try to figure out like what works and what doesn't, where to cut material if we overwrite,
Okay.
or if we write too little, what could we use to expand,
Okay.
and different methods to generate material.
So all of you write together and you write your own lines. Is that how it works?
Yes, it's like we write separately, but then and we get together at DSI and rehearse. What we do is we'll recite what we have written so far and get feedback.
Okay.
So we can learn just what works and what doesn't.
How does it work in comedy? Because I can imagine, I mean, comedy is a business. So when people are evaluating your work, are they sitting there like, yeah, that's real funny. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's hilarious. But they're not laughing.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
Well, no, they'll laugh, and that's how you know it works. Like they'll laugh, and then afterwards, they'll tell you what they liked and what's something you could change, or if you need to change the order of something to make it more effective, they'll do that.
How do they make sure that everybody has kind of, well, how do they make sure that there's equality? Because you don't want somebody to like hog the stage. So how do they keep someone from really hogging the stage and write, like you said, overwriting?
Well, in the beginning, we just write, and then we'll work on time management. And we know for the show that we're having this Friday, it's we each get 5 minutes stage time.
So with radio, time moves super fast. People could never believe when I was doing radio that our half hour was up so quickly. Is it the same with comedy, or does time slow down with comedy?
No, it speeds up. It's like once you find your groove, it'll go by pretty quickly.
Okay. So when you write 5 minutes worth of comedy, that's not difficult?
No, and see what we do is that's another purpose for the rehearsals. So if we overwrite, when we recite it in the group, we will be timed so we know exactly what time stuff ended. And that way we'll know if we need to cut anything, if we got it just right, or if we need to work on writing something else.
Are you expected to, for example, okay, I learned that the way they do Sesame Street is that when they work with the cast, they tell them the scenario and they come up with their own lines, but they're told exactly what's going to happen. Snuffleupagus is going to come here, then Big Bird's going to do this, and so forth, and go. And so they come up with their own, they're given the framework and they come up with their own lines. So is that how you operate, or do you actually, when you do your writing of your script, are you expected to learn it absolutely word for word?
Well, we write it and we have to memorize it for the showcase. So usually, like that week of, we work on finalizing it, make sure we get that 5 minutes down, and like that's pretty much it. But we are allowed to riff a little bit and just go off the top of our heads if we need to.
Do you like to do that?
I don't like to, but it's a skill that I have. So it's like if I do happen to blank, I could just fill it in.
Okay. See, I don't know you personally. I've never met you face to face, but I get the sense that you're very calm and low key. And I'm wondering if your sense of humor, are you one of those like sly, funny people?
See, one thing my mom has told me, she says a lot of times my face is just deadpan when I'm telling these jokes, because it's like in my mind, I'm not perceiving them as jokes.
You just make it
because it's just me. And everyone else just starts laughing.
See, my grandmother used to do that. My mom said that my grandma would be in church and she would be sitting there. She had one of those, some grandmas, they're just like very proper, and she would sit there very proper, and then she would say under her breath these hilarious things, and she'd still be sitting there like, and everybody around her would be falling out. And she would make comments about the preacher and stuff. Just kind of not being rude, but I guess she just had a funny sense of humor. So
Yes, that's me.
and so she would never crack a smile, and then people would be just falling out all around her, and she's still,
And I think that adds to it.
yeah.
And see, I'm like the only one in the group with a southern accent, and it's a high accent too. So, like that adds to it.
So everybody talks like what? They're from New York or something?
No, like I guess like they just came in from different parts.
Okay. So do you use that to your advantage?
Yes, because it took me a while to accept the sound of my voice because I actually sound like my mother.
Mm-hmm.
But once I realized that's what drew a lot of people in, I just went with it.
Okay. So when you write comedy for yourself, where does material come from? Do you just see something happening while you're like walking down the street and you jot it down your comedy notebook?
See, that's one thing about being an introvert.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always thinking. My brain never shuts off.
Okay.
So a lot of times I'll come up with random ideas and I'll jot them down while they're still fresh.
Okay.
And then I'll fill in the gaps later.
Okay. Is it usually a situation that you see or just something just really something that somebody said that was funny?
Something I see.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to try to give an example, but you're just going to have to wait for YouTube or come to the show.
Okay. Because see, my family used to sit around and listen to comedy records. Some families, that's what we did together. That was our thing, listening to comedy. And we were able, and even now, even when things are like going badly for me or whatever, I'm always able to see something funny in it. And I think I told you when you were first on my show, even my mom found something funny in my brother's death. I didn't put that right. But I'll tell the story again for those who didn't hear that story. And I do want to welcome Sharita and Quinette. Welcome to the show. So here's what happened. My little brother died at age 21, totally unexpected. He was my only brother. He was the baby of the family. It was completely devastating. Devastating. We were devastated. We could not believe it. So here it is. Okay, so I'm 26, right? My brother was 21. He died. So here it is, the day of the funeral. My nerves are raw. Okay, and the whoever it was delivered the funeral programs. So I look at the program and I'm just distraught. Okay, and I ran upstairs. I should have known better, but I was 26. I didn't know. Of course, my mom was grieving in her own special way because she just lost her only son. So anyway, so I'm upset. I'm like, oh my God. And I said, Mom, they spelled a word wrong, on the funeral program. It says remembrance instead of remembrance. And I'm just too through. And Mom hesitated for a minute. She said, well, if your brother were alive today, he'd probably spell it the same way. And I could not believe that. That was the most hilarious thing she could have said. We didn't laugh, but it kind of it calmed me down. And
I can do the same thing.
It's an amazing ability to see something funny in just about everything. So is that something that you learn and have to actually practice? Because I don't know how my mom did it. So how do you do it?
Like, there were times we were without heat during like the harsh winter. Wow. So we would get groceries. My mom would be like, make sure you put this in the fridge. And I'd be like, it's already in the fridge.
There's no heat. Wow. That's hilarious. So did she appreciate that though? That's the thing.
Yeah, all the time. Like I have to keep reminding her, like, it's already in the fridge. It's a big freezer.
That's cool. It's nice to have that trait. Now, some people might take it the wrong way. Have you ever said something funny and people just didn't see your point of view and thought you were being insensitive? Or
nope. And even if they did, I wouldn't care.
Because you're telling the truth, right?
That's how it is. I tell the truth at all times.
Mm-hmm. So I know I was asking about where you come up with your material, but when you do, okay, so you say you observe things, you see something funny, you develop your routines. So do you have to stand in front of the mirror and practice? Or, you know what I mean? Because after all,
Oh, I don't.
you have to do 5 minutes worth. So are you practicing in front of the mirror?
No, I just go off the top of my head
Well,
and see.
how do you know
But
it's
see,
funny?
I have um, like the material I have from my showcase
Mm-hmm.
back in October. That was roughly 3 minutes worth. So what we had to do in class and what we do in rehearsal is we type up and print out copies of our material.
Mm-hmm.
That way the person like that's coaching us can make notes and make note of the time. And I just use that to figure out just about how much I really need.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And 5 minutes is really nothing because if you look at my showcase footage,
Mm-hmm.
it was almost 4 minutes.
Okay.
I said, well, if I could do that, 5 minutes ain't nothing. So I just go based off of that to know how much on paper it is.
Okay. Have you ever seen someone on television and you think that they're not exploiting all their talents? Like every now and then I'll see an actor and he moves like really well. And some people do physical comedy so well, but they don't seem to realize how funny they are and they don't exploit that talent. Do you think being part of a comedy troupe can bring that out in a person? Because I think that could be useful.
Yes, especially if you have, a thing like we do, like where we critique each other and tell each other what works and what doesn't. Like sometimes I'll just say something in class that I didn't plan to use, but they'll say, write that down, use it.
Okay. Okay. Now, what about physical humor? Are you good at physicality?
I don't think so. But see, a lot of stuff you won't know until someone tells you.
Okay. Because I remember, now my favorite comedian of all time is Jack Benny. I don't know if that's going to.
Okay, I did watch a couple of clips on YouTube.
Mhm.
I saw one longer one,
Mhm.
and I actually liked it.
I like his humor a lot. They said that his same kind of humor is what they based that show Friends on. I never saw Friends. They say black folks didn't watch Friends. I guess I was one of those black folks who didn't.
I watched Friends. I feel odd now.
Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. No, but their comedy was, they said it was a show based on nothing. And that's exactly the way Jack Benny's show was. But I was mentioning physicality because I have watched Jack Benny work a crowd. And like he'll say something funny, then he would stand there like this. And he would just stand there and I'd see him just look at the audience. He'd say something funny and just look at the audience like this. And they'd go into hysterics. But he would just like look at him in this funny way with his hand like this. He would say, well. And I just could not believe how he could control the crowd like that. That probably takes a lot of experience. And
Yes, I don't recall ever doing anything like that.
To me, that takes a certain courage to just allow yourself dead air. Because I think most people like to fill in blank spaces with sound or laughter or something. So it's very, very rare when you see an entertainer who has the nerve to just sit there and look at the crowd.
Yeah. But see, on stage, I won't be able to see them anyway.
Why?
The lighting on the stage at DSI is very bright, so I would only, if I was able to see anybody, it would just be the first row of people.
Oh, okay. Are you told when you're doing comedy to look at that first row? Or are you supposed to? Because I remember being in when we were in choir, we were told to project and to look at the people in the last row.
I guess we look at whoever we can see.
Okay. Do you look for your family? Oh, that's right. You're making your
Not really.
This is your first time.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, they're gonna be there, but I don't really try to look for them. But I know I can hear them because I couldn't see my mom from the stage, but I could hear her laughing.
Okay. Now, what is the racial makeup of the DSI Comedy Theater?
Um, as far as the group I'm in, it's not that diverse.
Okay.
But that could somehow work.
Okay.
But there's more within like everything. If you combine all their other teams, it's more spread out.
Okay, when you say the team you're on is not, do you mean they're mostly white?
So
mostly black comedians?
No, it's mostly white.
Okay.
For all of them. But there's more black people that doing other things. Like I'm doing stand up, but they also have improv.
Okay.
And they have sketch.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now, Friday's your debut, so which type of comedy will you be doing on Friday?
Stand up. See, I will only be doing stand up.
Oh, okay.
But throughout the night, you will see the other teams.
So is sketch and improv considered a step above stand up?
No. I mean, I don't know exactly how they do it, but they specialize in improv. So you might see more improv than stand up.
So is that?
I haven't seen a lot of sketch though.
Okay, I like all three. So, do you like stand up the best, or do you actually want to comedy and sketch? What's the other one? Improv.
Improv. So I couldn't do improv. I already know this because my imagination
Don't say you can't. Don't say you can't.
My imagination would be too left and everybody else would be able to keep up. But I would love to do sketch. But I saw where they have a class for sketch comedy, but it's for people who are interested in writing it. I just want to act in it.
Oh, okay.
I don't care about the writing part.
Well, I guess you'll have to write it if you're going to do it, right?
Not necessarily. You have. I did hear they have independent teams, so they may be looking for people to act in their sketches.
Oh, come to think of it, that's right. When you watch Saturday Night Live and shows like that, their writing staff is not the same as the people on stage. Although, I think Garrett Morris, who was the first African American comedian on Saturday Night Live years ago, I think he had to take the stage because I don't think they needed a black person, basically. And he was a writer. He didn't think he was going to be a comedian. He was just writing funny stuff. But they needed a black person. So he joined the crew as a I think he still continued writing, but he also became the performer. And I guess it must be frustrating. I don't want to ask you because you're just making your debut, but I sometimes feel frustrated when there's only one black person because when they have to play all the roles.
Well, see, that's how.
Uh-oh, your mic went out. What happened? Uh-oh. Be careful with your
Is it back on?
Yes, on. Yeah, be careful. Okay.
The stand-up group, it's only me and one other black person. And I'm just like, we probably have more expectations on us than anybody. So we have to really stand out, I guess.
You might be short in your mic. Is it in your hand or something?
Just
be real careful because it's real staticky. Yes.
Okay, hold on. Plug it.
Okay, just make sure.
How's that?
That's good. That's good. Okay. Now, it would be kind of funny, maybe not, but if you are followed by the one other only black person, what would be really funny is if you take like 3 minutes shaking hands. You know how they do with all the, all the. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious just to see. Because I remember watching my little brother. When one of his friends would come by, it would take like 30 seconds for them to shake hands, elbows and all that stuff. And I would just stand there like, Wow.
And see, that's too much for me. Like, just shake hands and get on with it.
I
Like,
know, but I just think it would be a funny emphasis on your blackness to take like 5 minutes to.
and see, that's the thing. According to some of my friends, I'm the least black.
I was about to take a drink. Well, there is no degree to whiteness or blackness. I mean, I don't think. It's just.
I don't think so either. I'm just like, don't you see this melanin? Like, that's enough.
I think funny is funny. Funny is.
Yes.
Do you watch a lot of comedy on TV? And do you watch like a student, or do you think you watch like the rest of us who are just watching this for fun?
I watch just for fun. And I don't even watch a lot of comedy.
Really?
Like, I never have. And
Oh, that's funny.
something would catch my interest every now and then, but I never really thought to sit and watch it just because it's comedy.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Okay. What it was. Okay. So, DonJohn, tell us, for those of us who will be watching this later, where you're going to be on Friday so we can come see you.
I will be in Chapel Hill on Franklin Street at DSI Comedy Theater. It's right beside the Carolina Brewery.
And what time?
7 p.m.
Okay. Now, the way this works, will they have all the stand-up comedians first, like an opening act, and then the sketch comedy and the improv?
They have, I think they'll have more improv. I don't remember their lineup of shows for that night, but on their website, DSIComedyTheater.com, you will see a list. If you go to the shows tab, they will have a list of their shows.
Okay.
And the prices.
Okay. Where do you want just think about the future. I know you're going to have a brilliant career with DSI Theater, but I'm wanting you to look ahead. Where do you want your comedy to take you?
TV and movies.
Cool. What kind of TV? What kind of
I
movie?
would really like to be in a sitcom.
Oh, okay. Tell me if you could star in a sitcom, I know you've probably thought about it before, so tell us what the sitcom would be. What would the scenario be?
I don't even know. Like, I would fit anything. I would think. And I would like to do maybe something like Saturday Night Live.
Sketch comedy.
And it sucks. Mad TV is no longer on the air, no longer showing.
I think I remember that. And also Fridays. That's going back, though. It's going back. We grew up watching and listening to so much comedy, though. I mean, I love the that really sharp political comedy. I love I never liked slapstick that much. Where people
growing up, the show I grew up with was All That.
Love that show. Oh, and the theme song was the hippest theme song ever.
And I'm just like, I wish I had known I was going to be doing comedy then. Yeah. I would have tried to be on that show.
That was a hip show. It's just too bad that a couple of the members went kind of wacko. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I'm sure it's not Nickelodeon's fault. I'm sure it's not.
It comes with being a child star, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's quite a burden when you're in one day making more money than your parents make in a year, right?
Oh, yeah. I would love to have that kind of money.
Tell me about it.
But we don't all have it like that, but...
So if you were in a movie, see, I can see you, even though I don't know you personally, I can see you in an action movie because I can see, here's the reason. I can imagine a whirlwind of activity all around you, people going crazy, bombs going off, cars flying, and musical bands going down the street, and just crazy stuff happening. And you're like, chill, just... You're the only sane person in the scene. Everybody else is going crazy. I can imagine that happening.
Yeah, that's me in real life, actually. Like
Okay.
that. Like I'm the same one in my friends, in my group of friends.
Okay. You're the straight man.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Uh, I would do action. I would do okay. I would do a scary movie
oh,
only if my character was gonna live.
they don't tell you. They're not going to tell you when you audition for it.
Well, I'm black. They won't have me live anyway. If they did, if they
Actually,
did, they would save the death for the sequel.
okay, okay. Now, when we would watch the original Star Trek when we were kids, if we saw a black actor, we knew he was going to go first, especially if he had on a red shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And we would yell out, "Crispus, look out!" referring to Crispus Attucks, the first person who got shot during the Revolutionary War. I don't know why it was the only black man in the crowd who got shot. Nobody ever really explained that to us. But we used his name to warn whoever the black actor was on Star Trek because we knew he was going to get offed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was almost always true. But anyway, but I can definitely see you in movies. That's for sure. I don't know about sitcom because I don't think I haven't seen you in action yet. And how can I put this? I guess I watched so many sitcoms as a kid. I guess I don't necessarily have patience for them anymore. But I don't know. It all depends on the writing. To me, the key is the writing.
Yeah, and all the good ones go unnoticed.
You think so?
A lot of them.
Yeah, yeah. See, the writing is key because I think I told you this before. If it wasn't during my show, it was during one of our phone conversations. But my niece, this is back in the '90s. My niece, her favorite show was what's that show? I can't think of it. Anyway, there were Martin or Martin as people.
Yeah,
So that was her favorite show.
that was mine too.
And also she liked Living Single. Okay. And I know those are sitcoms. So I had never watched these shows before. So I'm sitting watching them with my niece. I'm like, oh. So I started reciting the lines. And Jahan was like, "I'm Pat. I thought you said you never saw this before. How did you know?" And I said, it must be the same writers because this stuff is just so predictable. You know?
90s had good television.
Huh?
90s had good television.
Yeah, but again, I think that they were using the same jokes from the 80s and the 70s and the 60s.
Probably.
Yeah, because if I could know what they were going to say before they said it, it must be evident that the writers were old and worn out. You shouldn't be able to do that. You know, but when you're a kid, of course, you don't know any better because you haven't grown up watching TV in the 70s. You weren't born yet.
Yeah, because I was born like right at 1990.
Okay. Yeah, my niece was born in 90. No,
actually, I was born this month.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, are you a good joke teller? Because it's so weird how a lot of people who are into comedy can't tell a joke to save their lives.
It's like I feel like I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but it works.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's just me and the way I tell it.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow it works, but I feel like in my mind I don't know exactly the specifics of the joke. Like why is this working?
Do you think if you really studied it, you know, like a psychiatrist or something, or I don't know if there's such a thing as a comedian comedy studies. I don't know. I mean, I know you were taking comedy classes, but I don't know if you go deeply into the psyche. But do you?
Well, they don't go, I guess, that deep, but you do learn the science behind jokes.
Oh, you do? What is the science behind jokes?
Well, you want to make sure that you increase the number of laughs per minute. and you don't want to start strong and end weak.
Okay.
So that's one thing. That's why we have this rehearsal, so we can figure that out with our set.
Interesting. Okay. So I wonder if you really studied why jokes are funny, do you think that would mess up your performance?
Maybe, because then I would be thinking about it too much in my head.
Okay, that makes sense.
Instead of just letting it flow like it naturally does.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably be overthinking it.
That makes sense. That's why, I mean, I know some musicians don't really want to get too deep into music theory and reading music because they feel that's going to mess up some of their spontaneity. I don't know if that's true, but that's what some people say. They want to just keep the flow, keep it moving.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm starting to find my groove and really get into it.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see you.
Yeah, and it's going to be live streamed.
Really?
Yes, so you pay your $6 online, and you can watch it live. And I'm actually about to post a bunch of links just to all of my...
Please do.
And I got the DSI link included.
Okay, yeah.
So the top one is a direct link to the shows.
Okay.
And I have my social media in there.
Okay, DSI Comedy Theater. Okay. Oh, Instagram. Okay, cool. Snapchat also.
And then I have my Facebook page. I got a fan page now.
Oh, good. Okay.
So that way, instead of just trying to direct people to my cousin's channel, I post the videos I'm in on my Facebook page, and it'll just take you to her channel where they're uploaded.
Nice. Because you said that you were going to I think when we last talked, you had been doing a show with someone and you put it on hiatus, but you're still doing funny comedy things with your cousin.
Yes.
And that's ongoing.
Correct. And we're trying to actually plan the next time we're going to be together filming. Because her work schedule is crazy. And I'm doing this with comedy, so we're just trying to find time. So we'll probably be getting together this weekend.
Do you now I know you have a show, but do you think you'll ever do like put a bunch of things together and then make a movie? Because that would be hip.
Like
like
a comedy special, like how they have their DVDs with like,
sure,
I guess that they put together.
But let me ask you, what are you doing now with your cousin?
Sketches and just recording our random moments together.
Okay.
And some behind the scenes stuff we post, like while we're editing videos at the library. Okay. You know, sometimes we cut up.
Here's someone coming in. Chastity, do I know Chastity? I'm not sure. I think I do. Well, let me see what's going on here. All righty. Hello.
Hey.
How are you, Chastity? Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. How are you? Oh, I've seen you before. Yeah, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I remember you. You were the one who is working in the health field?
Yes.
Yes. How's that going?
Going pretty good so far, so good.
Excellent. That's great. Did you have any questions about comedy with comedian DonJohn?
No, this is actually my first time hearing you guys talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, well, he's celebrating the fact that he's going to make his debut with the DSI Comedy Theater in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So I thought I'd interview him so that people can know about it. So I appreciate your coming on. So I hope things are going well with you. I know we were talking about you're moving up or trying to move up on your job.
Yeah, everybody. I think this year is the year for everybody to move up.
You know what? Someone I was talking to on the phone today said exactly that. Exactly that. This is the time.
See, what do I do to get over stage fright?
Question.
That's why I took the class.
Mm-hmm.
They offer stand-up classes, stand-up 101. And that was the main purpose of the class, to get you used to being in front of people and talking in a mic. That helped a lot.
Yeah. But it takes, so I'm gonna say goodbye to you now, Chastity. But I appreciate you dropping by, though. I really do.
It's good to see you again.
Oh, well, thank you. So we're recording a show. So what I'm gonna do is to X you out, but keep watching though. Keep watching, and I'll talk to you real soon. All righty. So as far as stage fright, I mean, does that for you? Does that mean your knees shake, or does your voice quiver?
Before, it wasn't so much my voice; it was more like my body.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I would feel nervous, I could feel a shaking.
Mm-hmm.
So there would be times I would just do like this sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
or I would just fold my arms like this to try to keep one arm from shaking.
Yeah, yeah. I actually have a friend, and he is an MC for a lot of the shows that shows and special events. They use this gentleman. I won't call his name. I don't want to embarrass him, but I mean he's really good. But he shakes like when I didn't realize how much he shakes until I did a videotape, and he's literally like this when he has the paper, you know, when he's standing on in front of the mic, and he's literally shaking like that. But he sounds perfect and he acts perfect, but his hands shake. And I asked him about it. He says he's a little nervous, but not really. But he says if he is nervous, it will show in his hands, but he's still able to perform.
Yeah.
He says it provides him with the energy to do a good job.
Yeah. I think a lot of times when you think you are showing nervous tics, you probably are the only one that sees it.
Well, no one else has mentioned it. I mean, I just happened to notice it because I was taping it and I watched it later. And I was like, gee, his hands are shaking. Never noticed that before.
Yeah, I don't know. But you would think after a while that would disappear a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the class really helped me with stage fright, because in the class you're with the group of people who are all there for the same thing. And you didn't really think about it. And then I noticed a lot of the signs that I had previously went away before the showcase.
Man. Now, I have seen comedians on shows like The Tonight Show, and they were really strange. I'm just going to put it straight out. One of them, let's see, Peter Sellers. I think his name was Peter Sellers. He was hilarious. I've seen him in TV and movies, but he was a very strange person because he was completely deadpan. He would be interviewed on a show and he would have absolutely no personality at all. And in fact, it was almost as if he didn't exist unless he was performing. Because he was just like, yeah, how you doing? Yeah.
I think that could be nerves. Because I don't think a lot of people, if you hear something in the background, there's cooking going on.
Oh, what kind of
cooking? You happen to hear a sizzle.
Yeah, I do. What's that? What's on the grill?
Yeah, chicken.
Okay, save me some.
And yeah, I think some people don't realize how they are, especially if they don't watch themselves.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't aware of my deadpan look until my mom brought it to my attention.
I don't think you're deadpan, though. I think you're different. You're low key. But I'm talking about, when I say deadpan, I mean almost in a coma. I mean, I asked my sister about it, and she said that there are certain people, like I think it was Peter Sellers, who honestly don't feel that they exist unless they're performing. I mean, existing for them is performing and becoming somebody else. Playing a character is the only way that they can express themselves. See, you're expressing yourself just fine. I'm talking about people who are totally like almost, like I said, just catatonic.
You do create a persona on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was part of his, but that's one thing we work on, trying to create our persona, figure out what that is.
Mm-hmm. But it shouldn't be the same one all the time, right?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the person and how it works for them.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
Because my mom says I'm a completely different person when I'm on stage.
Wow, that must be kind of almost scary, right?
And I'm just like, I'm just me. Like, the stage is where I feel most free.
That's interesting. And yet you're an introvert.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
And I actually, I'll be joking about being an introvert Friday.
Cool. I wish I could, maybe I can watch via live streaming. That would be really cool. So you did, so where it says DSI Comedy Theater, that link, is that the link I would use to watch your show online?
Yes, you will click on that and then you will see, I think, Chuckle Bucket. Mm-hmm. So each show that they have a name for it.
Okay.
So the stand-up group, our show is called Chuckle Bucket.
Chuckle Bucket. Okay. Cool.
So that's what the link is. So you go to that, it'll be that page for Chuckle Bucket. Okay. You will see the names of all the comedians and a link where it says, I think you can get your tickets, and then I think the day of the show you'll be able to click on it and you'll go to where you'll be going to stream it.
Okay.
But it won't be streaming right on DSI site. They use giggity.tv.
Okay, cool. Now this is gonna be my last question. Even though, DonJohn, you say you don't watch a lot of comedy, can you think of any stand-up comedians that you kind of like model yourself after or at least learn from?
I always hear, and I do see it when I watch him, Steve Harvey.
Oh, okay. What about him?
Like, he just keeps it real. Like, he's real honest. He says what everyone be thinking, and a little bit like Bernie Mac too.
Oh yeah.
I just don't cuss as much.
Well, that's good.
He tells what everyone's thinking but are afraid to say.
Exactly. There was a black comedian. He was a young black man who wore a cropped black leather jacket. I cannot remember his name. He wasn't popular for long. His name, I think, was Charles something. But he used to come out, and he would always do this, and it would make me crack up. He would come out looking angry because he had on a black leather jacket, and he'd just stare at the crowd like this. And he would just stare, and they would and they started laughing, and he's just staring at him like, and they start laughing, and he says,
I feel like I've seen this person.
Yeah, and then he says, shut up. And that's how he would start his routine. But it was the weirdest thing because he would stand there for like 2 minutes and just, at least it felt like 2 minutes, and just stare the audience down.
It works for some. I don't know. I wouldn't try that, but it works.
It worked for him. So everybody, if you want to check out DonJohn, so check out that link, DSI Comedy Theater. We're in North Carolina, so we're talking about Eastern time. You said, what time? 8?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. So do you happen to know how much the ticket is online?
$6.
Okay, $6. So,
Same price at the door.
Okay. And let's follow DonJohn because I like how you carry yourself. You're very low key, but you're funny. And I know you're hilarious on stage. And I expect you to totally rule the comedy world soon.
And I'm posting all my links a second time just in case you don't feel like scrolling up, people.
There you go. There it is. So click on that, folks. So this show, I'm still recording, thank goodness. So this show will actually be on YouTube soon. You can go to the Patricia A. Murray channel on YouTube, and I will edit the show just a little bit because I know we were having that static problem. So, yeah, and DonJohn, get a new little headset. Can I tell you a little bit about my job? Was that Chastity again? Well, let me stop the recording. Since I was saying goodbye, and then I'll have you come back on. So I will say goodbye for now, kind audience. Be sure to read the Durham Skywriter, this Durham, North Carolina's online community paper at durhamskywriter.com. I want to thank DonJohn for being my guest, and I appreciate that you invited yourself. A lot of people don't have the guts. And a lot of people say, yeah, well, call me. And my thing is, if you want to come on the show, do what DonJohn did and invite yourself. Because I can't keep up with everybody in the world who might want to come on my show.
I mean, you won't get anywhere if you don't put yourself out there.
There you go. And with that, I'll say goodbye for now. So I'm going to pause the recording and I'll say goodbye to our viewing audience. And I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.